Hello, how are you? It's me. I don't know what I'm going to talk about today. I watched, the football yesterday. The Giants have a serious problem. They can put up more points than they ever did before, but they can't win games. They're doing really good offensively. They look sharp. They have some supposedly outstanding defensive players, but they can't perform when they're supposed to, or excuse me, or something. I don't know. They start out great. Excuse me. They start out great, but then they gone. And I don't know what to think. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, hey, I don't know, man. But they're pretty bad. And then Donnie, in his instrument wisdom, keeps going around and screwing the veterans, closing veterans administrations offices, removing valuable people. You know, these people fought for this country. Why? Because they didn't fight for you? Hell, your mother wouldn't fight for you. You're such an ass. But it's not you that they go to war for. They go to war for the military goes to war for the country. They don't go to war for any individual personally. Okay, so they don't like you. That's too bad. But they love this country, and that's what they're out there fighting for. Most of these people really love this country. There's some in it for other reasons, or reasons along with the fact that they love the country and they want to help defend it. But that's, the stupidity that you exist. I mean, you're just a mistake, a biological mistake. That's what you are. I don't know how you came into existence. I don't know how, maybe they tried to clone Hitler, and you're the result of that. I don't know. All right, moving right along. The big thing is that there seems to be a backlash against Indian people, not American Indians, people from India. Now, this is going to sound trashy, but I understand that, They've never gone after them, the government, for anything. They're here in this country. I know of about 20 of them that have no intention of becoming a citizen. They came over here to make money. Several of them that I know, I don't know whether even this store still exists, but they made a lot of money out of it. Came over on that B2 visa or whatever it was, and worked for AT&T. Like I said, I think I've told this story before. A bunch of them lived in a house together. I cleaned the house and everything else. When their contracts were up, they didn't go back. They pooled their money, bought a 7-Eleven or a gas station or something else that was cash orientated. That's very difficult to audit or maintain great records on, because there's a lot of cash transactions, there's a lot of loss or pilferage or whatever. So they have a lot of tax write-offs. So they basically don't pay a lot of taxes, the taxes that they're supposed to. They're very good at that. I learned stuff from them. And then, eventually they go home and they take all their money with them. They don't reinvest it around here. Some of them stay here. Some of them are in politics and whatnot. But you have to check out their families and whatnot, how they operated when they got here. Their immigration was based upon the B2 visa more than it was, desire to come to America. I mean, in New Jersey, they have a place, a part of New Brunswick, that and even in Morris County, they're starting to call them places, these Little New Delhi. Now, I'm not knocking it. I hate Indian foods, but I'm not knocking them for that. People like it, they eat it, fine. I don't dig it. I hate curry, the spice. not the basketball player. And it's really a sad thing to see, though, that you would go after these people because they don't really do anything negative, other than they don't pay a lot of taxes because they're smart. And they get over here because they're smart. They don't come to this country to dig ditches. They don't come to this country a lot of them don't come to this country to look for a better way of life. You know, they come to this country because they can't get into medical school over there. The medical school isn't quite as good as the medical schools over here, and they get into medical school or something. They become doctors. Some stay, some go. Most of them stay. Now, the percentage of them they get citizenships, I have no idea. But the people that I used to run into were teachers' aides and things like that. They don't want to become a citizen. They work on a green card so that they can go home anytime they want. Take all their money with them. Okay? So, you know, and they live multiple families to a house. They're used to that, you know, and the families are a big unit, you know, so it's... But I don't think what we should be doing is calling them names and telling them that, you know, get the hell out of our country and this, that, and the other thing. Because what we're proving is, what I've felt for a long time, is that the people that are white supremacists are basing their beliefs on Hitler and one race. You know, and that the white people are the best people in the world. Jesus was not white, folks, okay? He was an Arab. He wasn't an American. He wasn't, you know, a European. He was an Arab. He was born with a permanent tan. So let's get this shit straight, okay? You don't like black people. You don't like Puerto Ricans. You don't like this. You don't like that. You know... Only thing you like are blonde white people. Well, you know, don't invest in suntan lotion if that's what you want. Damn, that's just stupid. Because we're not as good as some of these other countries in educating our people and teaching our people how to do technical stuff. And these other countries are better than ours. And if you don't like that, and you don't want those people there, you know, basically what you're saying to me anyhow is that you want to go back to the Dark Ages. You want to go back to where people were stupid, inbred and stupid. You know, that's what you want to do. You want inbred families. You know, you're really fucked up. You really are crazy. You know, and like my mom said, and I keep repeating this. You know, she didn't get involved in a lot of things. But she always had, when she got upset about something and she would start talking about something, she made more sense than most people do. And because she was pretty damn smart, you know, and sort of educated, pretty good education for a woman back in those days. And she was a survivor, you know, because back then you couldn't have credit cards, you couldn't do nothing, you know. So when she got divorced, and when my father died, she didn't get divorced. She wanted to, but I wouldn't let her. That was a mistake. I should have let her. I make a lot of mistakes in life. I don't regret them because it's too late to worry about it. You know, you did what you did. You have to live with it, and you lived with it, and that's the end of it. You know. But she always said that we need each other. We can't survive without each other. You know, South African people, Mandela realized that when he took over the government. There was when apartheid went. You know, you have Musk walking around saying, "We never saw any persecution or violence." Well, you know, Monk, you grew up behind walls. Okay, you're I don't know how to explain Elon, because he's smart in some ways and he's just dumber than a fucking doorknob in others, you know. He's not a people person unless it's a woman that he wants to impregnate, you know. He's got like 12 girlfriends or something, all having kids. Uh, I don't think that's a real good idea, but he can afford to feed them, you know. But sooner or later, it's going to cost him a lot of money. Okay. So, and it's going to cost the companies invested in a lot of money should he die tomorrow. But don't wish evil on people because that shit comes back at you. Anywho, what else is going on in the world? What else is the meatballs? Now Trump is just now he says. He tells the Republicans, I want you to release the Epstein tapes. Now, either they've been so redacted that nobody will be able to tell whose name is whose in there and who they're talking about, or he's taking bets that nobody will be upset by the fact that he's in it. And I'll go along with that because, like I've told you, everybody knows this guy's a scumbag when it comes to women. All right? Apparently, everybody does with his wife. Maybe she does, but I don't know. Maybe she's a closet transsexual or something. I have no idea. That's not my. I don't get involved in that crap unless it hits the headlines, But everybody knows he's a womanizer. He was, and he cheated on everybody. And he walked around. They had him on tape, and he didn't deny it. He said, "Yeah, if you have money and everything like that, if you're famous and you've got money and you're a celebrity, they'll let you grab him by the pussy." Okay, that didn't affect his election the first time around. So I doubt very seriously that the fact that he's banging good-looking women in the Epstein case is going to really cause a problem. If he's after 10-year-olds, that's a different story. I go through this. I'm not going through this anymore because I don't like talking about that shit. But I have my own opinions with it. You have to understand something. My opinions have nothing to do with condoning this stuff. I do not condone child rape or any of that stuff. I think those people should be shot, not go to jail. Because I've read interviews and studies by these people that they tell you they can't get cured. There's no such thing as a cure for that disorder, okay, for pedophilia. So you just take those people out, kneel them down, put a 45 to the back of their head, and blow their face into the cement, okay? That's what I would do with them. But that's me. I'm a nice, calm, collected guy here, So anyhow, I told you I lost 2 subscribers. I wish I could find out why. I probably said something that upset them, but that's what I do. I don't, I'm looking. The more I upset people, the happier I am. There's a lot of us out there like that. We figure it's a way to make money. Who used to do that? Most of the shock jockeys did. Okay. I don't know where Lucy went. She just left. She headed for the living room. Unless my wife is cooking lunch or something like that. That's the only reason she goes out there. All right, so listen. That's my Monday morning stories, Probably be some shocking stuff coming tomorrow or later in the week because if they, start releasing the files. I mean, the emails were bad enough. Files are going to be even worse. But, it'll take you probably 6 months to read them all. So don't plan on anything. People are going to pick stuff out. And when they do that, it's not necessarily the most accurate way of expressing the story about them, All right. So that's it for me. I could definitely use some subscribers to build my ego back up again. And my feelings are hurt. And I don't understand. I can understand. I mean, I advertise the fact that you can unsubscribe anytime you want. And I guess being a dick that I am, I piss people off sometimes, and I can understand that. But I would have rather had an argument with these people, and then they could have said, "You scumbag," or I understand your opinion better now, something like that, rather than just poof, and I have no idea. But anyhow, that happens. That's life. So those of you that are around and maybe still like me, or maybe want to do the same thing just to piss me off, so please hit the subscribe button, the like button, or comment. And if you don't like me, please comment. All right, I get great comments all the time make me leery because I can't be perfect all the time. Well, I try, but. Okay, so anyhow, I'll see you guys. There's a Monday night game. Wait a minute. Let me do that real quick. That's not there. It's over here. The Raiders and the Cowboys. Well, that should be a sleeper, folks. Neither one of those teams excite me. And I'm a Raider fan, and they don't excite me. I'd probably go with the Cowboys. So that's that. And what happened here? Oh, see, I do something and I lose something when I do that. Okay. Anyhow. That's my prediction. All right, so run around, make your bets, and while you're doing it, please, please, please hit the like button. And I will talk to you mañana. Ciao. Ciao, people.